biggest complaints I get about meal prep is that, you waste so much food, it costs too much money. So if that's what you've said, listen up, my loves. So how do we stop with the waste? First thing first, we got to pay attention to it, right? When the end of the week comes, what are you throwing away? Pay attention to it. So that way you know if you're buying too much, and then you can make adjustments. For example, lettuce. Sometimes you want to buy 3 bags, but then it ends up you only need 2 bags, or maybe you only need 1 bag of lettuce. So pay attention to that. The other thing is frozen vegetables, frozen fruit. I know that, for many people you're like, it's not ideal, but I think about the times when I know that I'm kind of gonna be kind of like in and out of town, or, it's just my husband and I. So like sometimes he's home and I'm not home, and sometimes I'm home and he's not home. So frozen vegetables make the most sense for us because I don't have to buy fresh, because I know that if I don't use it all in a week, I'm not throwing it into the compost bin, right? So I really want you to think about, if I buy frozen, I always have it. It's really easy for me to like create something with a frozen vegetable than, think I have a fresh vegetable and then bada boom, bada bing, it's mushy and I ain't eating it. All right. The other thing is soup, right? The thing love about soup is that, the broth, right? It's very filling, it's very satisfying. Use bone broth as a base. You can make your own, or you can buy, one in the carton. That's what I'm talking about, the carton. Buy one in the carton and, use that as a base. You can have a couple of meals out of that soup, and it's pretty economical. Stir fries, right? No one ever got fat eating too many vegetables. Like chock full that stir fry full of vegetables, and throw in some protein, but those vegetables will keep you nice and full and satisfied. The last thing, scrambles, right? Eggs, they're one of the most cost-effective complete proteins that you can buy. Eggs, load it up with vegetables, and you have a meal. One of my favorite things to do for breakfast: put like a whole dozen eggs in a bowl, beat them up, add in some, salt, some pepper. I like things spicy, some little crushed red pepper, and throw it in the pan and bake it for like 30-ish minutes. I call it a frittata, but it's an egg bake. But throw it in there and be done, right? That's breakfast or lunch or dinner. It could be anything. It's that really quick and easy meal. It's one of my go-to meals whenever my husband is traveling. It's really something I can easily throw in the microwave. I could throw it back in the oven, and it's just a quick hit meal. So meal prepping doesn't have to be expensive. It doesn't have to be time consuming. It doesn't have to make you pull your hair out. So it's really simple. If you feel like you're wasting money throwing food away, what are you throwing away so that you know when you go to the grocery store what to buy less of? Buy frozen fruits, frozen vegetables, and that way you always have something. They last a good 3 to 6 months, so you don't have to worry about being wasteful. And then soups, scrambles, and stir fries. That's the way to go. I would love to know how this is resonating with you. Do me a favor, leave me a comment below. If there's anybody who needs to hear this video, be sure to share it with that person and let me know what else you need to hear from me. I am always about how do I make this life as simple and sustainable as possible. And I can talk. All right, have a fabulous day.